How does the Anthony Davis trade compare to the decade's NBA mega deals? The New Orleans Pelicans received Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, what amounts to 3 unprotected first-round picks and a 2024 first-round pick swap. With Ingram, Ball, the closest comparison is probably the 2013 blockbuster between the Brooklyn Nets and Boston Celtics. In exchange for the difference here is that the Lakers landed Davis, a 26-year-old perennial MVP candidate, presumably in the onset of his prime. The Nets got a third. Despite the acquisition of Davis alongside LeBron, an unprecedented pairing, given they own 2-0 Michael Jordan is the other. The Lakers took a considerable risk in ceding control of their first-round picks for the next 6 years. By trading Ingram, all of which leaves Kyle Kuzma as the only other established rotational player under contract. Lakers general it is almost impossible to grade the trade now, since we do not know if Ingram or Ball will ever meet his considerable potential and what becomes of the future picks. What we do know is, as for the Lakers, recent history tells us that trading a first-team All-NBA talent in his prime for a collection of assets is merely a coin flip proposition. Prior to 2000, since then, there have been 5 deals involving top-flight MVP candidates this decade. The team dealing this race how the 5 other blockbuster trades this decade have panned out. What did the Denver Nuggets originally get in return? They got Danilo Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Timofey Mozgov, Raymond Felton, a 2014 first-round pick, 2 second-round picks and a first-round pick swap in 2016. What have the Nuggets actually gotten in the deal? The Nuggets traded the 2014 first-round pick that became Dario Saric in a 4-team deal, more on this later, that netted them Andre Iguodala, and they swapped Felton for Andre Miller. That laid the foundation. Hayes the kicker, though the 2016 pick swap got them Jamal Murray, the second-best player on a 54-win team that came within a quarter of the Western Conference Finals this season. The Anthony deal, it could have netted the Nuggets even more, if they hadn't wasted the 2 first-round picks they got from Cleveland in return for Mozgov. They spent This is a helpful reminder that the decisiveness of Saturday's trade will largely depend on how prudent Griffin is with the picks coming his way from the Lakers. How did the Knicks fare with Anthony? The Knicks made the playoffs in their first 3 seasons with Anthony, peaking with 54 wins and a second-round playoff exit in 2013, when he finished second in MVP voting. They have not made the decision by the Knicks to gut their roster and few remaining draft assets for Anthony, when they could have waited to sign him outright in 2012 free agency, set their roster-building efforts back significantly. This is strikingly. Who won the trade? Denver. What did the Orlando Magic originally get in return? They got Aaron Aflalo, Al Harrington, Nikola Vucevic, Josh McRoberts, Mo Harkless, Christian Iyengar, 1 protected future first-round pick from each team of the 3 other teams involved in the deal and 2 second-round picks. What have the Magic actually gotten in return? The Magic sent 2 of those conditional first-round picks back to the Philadelphia 76ers to move up 2 spots and take Elfrid Payton 10th overall. The protections on one of the second-round picks Orlando originally acquired never conveyed, and the other was used to draft the immediately waived Romero Osby. This all illustrates, Vucevic was far from the prospect that Ball and Ingram are now, and yet he ultimately became the best player in this deal, which goes to show how much these deals change over time. Vucevic made his. On top of that, the Magic turned Aflalo into Evan Fournier, and he also started for a Magic team that made the playoffs for the first time since trading Howard in 2012. How did the Lakers fare with Howard? Howard spent 1 season in Los Angeles, feuded with Kobe Bryant overall despite Howard playing through back and shoulder injuries and left in 2013 free agency. The Lakers have to be crossing their fingers that the Davis/LeBron pairing doesn't mirror the disparity between the expectations for the Howard/Bryant combination and the combustibility that was uniting a young superstar with a demanding legend. Who won the trade? Orlando. What did the Oklahoma City Thunder originally get in return? They got Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, a pair of protected first-round picks in 2013 and a 2013 second-round pick. What have the Thunder actually gotten in return? The first-round picks became Steven Adams in 2013 and Mitch McGary in 2014, and the Thunder also nabbed Alex Abrams at number 32 with the second-round pick. Adams was a starter on the Oklahoma City squad that nearly toppled the Warriors in the 2016 Western Conference Finals, and Abrams has also been a contributor to Thunder teams that have been ousted in the playoffs each of the past 3 seasons. A case could be made that not one of those assets that Oklahoma City received was as valuable in the moment as any of the 6 pieces New Orleans got in return for Davis. How have the Rockets fared with Harden? The Thunder would have clearly been better off with Harden. He will undoubtedly. The Rockets also came within a game of reaching the finals with Harden at the helm last season. After a 3-year, we might feel differently about the deal if the Thunder had drafted Giannis Antetokounmpo over Adams in 2013 or Nikola Jokic in 2014, but such is the gamble of trading the certainty of a 20-something star for unknown draft picks. Who won the trade? Houston. What did the Indiana Pacers originally get in return? They got Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. What have the Pacers actually gotten in the deal? Oladipo and Sabonis. It's just that How have the Thunder fared with George? The Thunder traded for George with less of a guarantee that he would re-sign in 2018 free agency than the Lakers have from Davis. He was an all-star. Who won the trade? Even. What did the San Antonio Spurs originally get in return? DeMar DeRozan, Jacob Poeltl, and Toronto's protected 2019 first-round pick. What have the Spurs actually gotten in the deal? That first-round pick from Toronto now sits second from the bottom in this year's first round. The Spurs made the play. How have the Raptors fared with Leonard? They won the DEM title, which is why you trade for a talent of his ilk. This is the most Who won the trade? Toronto. Ace, a staff writer for Yahoo Sports. Have a tip? More from Yahoo Sports.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up